Welcome back, Stephanie. Good to see you again. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you. Good to
In
see
our
you.
last interview, and for those of you who might want to look it up, it's about dog training and marker versus clicker training. And in the course of that conversation, we discussed a little bit about punishment-based training as opposed to positive-based training. And I promised that the next interview that we did would be about what techniques might harm the bond that you have with your dog. So let's get started. Tell me, Stephanie, what training methods can negatively impact the bond between a dog and a dog parent?
Well, generally, anything that causes fear or pain with the dog is going to erode that bond. Because if your dog is being hurt by you or your dog is being scared by you, you cannot be trusted. Is this going to be a time that they're scary? Is this going to be the time that, I'm going to feel pain? That is definitely going to affect the bond with your dog. So anything, I steer away from doing anything that I know is causing fear or pain in the dog. That can be different for dogs, right? If it's an older dog that has arthritis, there might be a lot of things that people don't necessarily think of right away that may be causing the dog pain, right? If I'm asking them to sit and it's really not necessary and they have bad knees in the back end, then that's causing discomfort.
So, it's the old school, I'm housebreaking my dog. I'm going to yell at them if they do something wrong. And I'm not going to go into the squirt bottles and the newspapers and all of that stuff that's like totally out the window now. Why is it important to avoid using punishment-based training techniques? Why is it important to use positive?
Because first of all, it helps to build confidence in your dog. It helps to build that bond with your dog, and it helps to build trust from your dog. It does not matter what age you bring your dog in, that trust bond is really important. They need to be able to feel that you are their safety net, that they can trust you to make sure that they're not going to get hurt and they're not going to experience scary things as much as you possibly can, correct? Right? Remember that trust account. You do not want to be associated with pain or fear with your dog. I mean, most of us don't want to be, right? So there's that element. But the other element is that you may not be, in fact, teaching them with pain or fear what you are intending to teach them. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that I am trying to teach you, and I'm going to use a word that means nothing that about what I want you to learn, okay? Simply because if I use a word that is associated with what I'm about to demonstrate, you're going to know, right? So I'm going to use something that's completely disassociated. So let's use bananas, okay? And I'm trying to teach you what bananas mean. And in this context, you have no clue. It's not a yellow fruit, okay, that, you can eat. It is something completely different that you just do not know. So I'm going to say, I'm going to teach you, and you tell me, what do you think I'm trying to teach you, right? Bananas.
Bottle. You're teaching me bottle. You just took a drink out of a banana.
Am I really teaching you bottle? Or was I teaching you liquid, shake, because I shook it, twist off the top, twist on the top, take a drink? What one of those things in what I demonstrated to you tells you what bananas means? So if you got it wrong and I punished you in some way, caused fear or pain, okay, and then all I did was bananas, do you think you'd get it? How comfortable would you be trying again?
Not at all. I would hope that that's filled with vodka because I'd probably need a swig.
It's water with flavor.
Oh,
But I'm in New Mexico and it's getting hot. It's time to start hydrating better.
Mm,
But do you see what I mean? You could be, for example, if you are using any kind of correction with a leash, whether that's popping their collar, yelling at them, using a prong or an electric collar, a shock collar, because they are reacting to another dog. Okay. Are you teaching them that their behavior is what is causing it? Or are you teaching them that the dog is the appearance of the dog is what causes the fear or the pain? Which one are you teaching them?
oh, you're right. You never think about that. Well, you do.
Right. And because there could be that misunderstanding when you are using methods that do such damage to their well-being, your bond with them, I just don't think that it's the best way to go. It
Right.
may take a little bit longer, right? To use positive methods, things that, hey, we're going to reward you. We're going to make sure you're not going over threshold. We're going to make sure that you feel safe. It might take a little bit longer, particularly if they have experiences that are really scary or painful that are associated with those circumstances that you're trying to train.
Right. And if it's a dog that isn't straight from a very reputable breeder, you don't know what they've been exposed to, what they've had to deal with.
Right. And a lot of times when you're for those wonderful people that are, getting shelter dogs and rescues and that kind of thing, you have limited information, if any, about what the life of that dog was like prior to them reaching the shelter or the rescue. And so you don't necessarily know what kind of experiences they have had.
Exactly. So positive training, which really is a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable, both for the dog as well as for the pet parent, right? Um,
Yes.
it probably really helps strengthen the love and the bond that you have
Mm-hmm.
with that
And you
dog.
have a dog that wants to do the things you're asking them to do because it's fun and it's enjoyable and they get to spend time with their person and good, fun things happen. As opposed to it being, oh my gosh, we're going out on a walk and I'm going to encounter all of these scary things. I might experience pain.
What's some red flags to watch for that indicate a training method might be harming a dog-parent relationship?
So, well, does your dog want to even engage with you? Like when you pull out the training equipment or the leash to go for a walk, are they like, woohoo, let's go? Or are they like, oh, okay, I'm going to go over here? So are they avoiding you? Do they not want to engage in what you want to do with them? And then several times back, we talked about body language. What does their body language look like? Is it comfortable? Is it loose and wiggly? Are they smiling? Are they relaxed? Maybe a little excited. So relaxed but not tense and fearful.
Makes complete sense. Uh, Anything else you'd like to add to that? I've been making all kinds of notes as we've been talking. And one question that I have, but I don't want to ask it this time. I want to ask it in a future one because
Okay.
I think it's going to take the whole thing. My dog's pooped on the floor.
Oh,
You know, I
yeah.
just really want to have an entire one about my dog's pooped on the floor. I'm not going to say anything else. So be prepared because that's probably going to be the next one that we do.
So basically potty training or house training.
But this positive reinforcement, I mean, people like me, your dog poops on the floor and you're immediately going, what? You
Right.
don't do so.
Yes. Yes.
So I want to talk about that. Everybody, I know I'm not alone in this one.
It'll be fun and you're probably going to, it's probably not going to be surprising what I'm going to tell you. But, and just as a quickie, if your dog is doing it and they don't normally do it, then I would take them to the vet. There's something going on there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
So if they are normally house trained and you're having problems with soiling in the house all of a sudden, you need to go to a vet
Yeah,
and make sure that there's not something going on.
absolutely.
Other than that, it's about training. And that's a lot about us and paying attention.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about it though.
Stephanie, for those of you who don't know, I mean, maybe this is the first time you've seen her. She's the most perfect and wonderful train the trainer. If you want to learn how to train your dogs, she will train you and how to train them. And she knows all of the ways to get you to do it. Because she's not only good at training dogs, but she's also had a lot of experience in training people. And
Well,
it's
thank you.
a delightful experience working with her. All the information is below. Feel free to contact her. She does have free consultations. So she is there for you, just like your dog is for you. And you owe it to your dog to be there for them. Thank you, Stephanie. We'll talk to you again soon.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.